Hello guys and welcome to another tutorial looking at the American DJ AirStream DMX bridge. In this video we're going to take a look at the shows function in the software. So what is the shows function? Well, it's really simple actually. It's basically a way of recalling a series of scenes in an order with a particular time. It's kind of like creating a step-based effect, but you're referencing the scenes you've created. So to be able to demonstrate this and how you can use it to create a step-based effect, I've created 4 different looks here. I've got red look number 1, red look number 2, going into a blue look, and the final blue look. And I want to turn that into a step-based effect. So what I'm going to do now is open up the shows function, and in the top right I'm going to hit assign. Now you can create up to 24 different shows that you can play back at any one time. I'm sure you're getting bored of me saying this now, but remember it works in the same way as both the effects and the scenes. You have different mappings that you can then assign your recorded scenes to. So even though you've only got 24 slots to assign your shows to, you can record more than 24. So I'm going to go ahead now and create a new scene. I'm just going to simply tap on it and you're into the kind of scene editor here. So you can see we've got step 1, which is currently empty, and then an option to add a step. We're going to tap on step 1 and the drop down is going to expand, and you've got a little plus button in the right hand corner which will then, if you tap on it, scroll through all of your recorded scenes. It'll scroll through all your assigned buttons, so I'm going to go to button number 14, which I've saved as step 1 red, and I'm going to set that to have a hold time of 5 seconds. You can use the slider here to adjust that time, how long you want each step to last. I'm going to have each one set to the standard 5 seconds. Let's add another step, click on it, and repeat the process. Adding in step 2 and step 3 and then step 4. So let's say I've added a few too many steps here and I want to delete them. I can either swipe from left to right to bring up my delete option, or I can tap edit in the top right, which will bring me to a menu where I can both delete steps but also reorder them if I wanted to swap certain steps around. So I'm happy with how that is now, and I'm going to press save in the top, and now I'm ready to save my show. Again, we've got our show file name here, so I'm going to call this blue red step, and button label is just going to be blue red. And let's give it an image. I'm going to give it an image of a big red button and hit save. So now I can go back to our shows list, and you can see here we've got my blue red, which I've managed to spell wrong. I can tap on it and it's going to launch into that list, and it's going to cycle through those 4 different scenes I've assigned. So there's step 2, step 3, and finally we've got step 4. Now it's going to go back to the beginning to step 1 again, which is going to highlight one of the issues with the way I just programmed that. You'll notice that it's all gone purple, which it's not meant to do. You've got to remember about how you're selecting your values and which values are active when you hit that save button. To record those 4 different looks, I quickly dragged up my blue fader, recorded the looks, then dragged up the red fader and dragged down the blue fader. Now the important thing to remember there is that I didn't give any active instructions to any of the other colours. So because the system works in a latest takes precedence mode, if it doesn't receive an instruction, it stays where it is. And because of that, the lights go purple. However, we can go ahead and fix this, which is a good opportunity for me to show you how you can update the way your shows look just by updating the scenes that they're referencing. Whenever you save a show, you're not saving this sequence of step-based effects, you're saving the references to the scenes. So if I go ahead now and update those scenes, that will then update into the show. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go back to scenes. I'm going to relaunch my red scene here, and I'm going to make sure that I give manual value information to all my other colors. To do that, I'm just going to bring up the channels and bring them back to 0. So even though the information is at 0, it's active and will be recorded when I hit save. So I'm going to overwrite the scenes I've created and update the rest of them. So now I've gone ahead and saved all of the other color attributes at 0 as an active value. And now when I go ahead and replay the show, it's going to cycle through, and this time it's going to remember the color information correctly. It's going to go from red, like so, into this blue, into full blue, and then back to red again. So it's really important when you're programming to keep in mind how you're saving information, which values are active and which values are going to be recalled when you play back that scene. And this becomes really important when you start layering shows and scenes on top of each other, and which information is going to be overriding from which source. So you can see there how simple it was. All I needed to do was update my scenes, and then because the shows are referencing those scenes, it automatically updates. Also, when you launch a show, if you go back to the scenes window, you can see it automatically skipping through those 4 different steps I've recorded. You can visually see that happening from within the scenes window. I want to change that slightly though. I want to make it so it fades between the steps rather than snaps. Well, to do that, I simply add a fade time to the scene. So to be able to edit the scene, I need to load it up, go into the assign menu, tap on the scene, and then I can add a custom fade time. I'm going to set 2 seconds, tap save, and overwrite the file. Repeat that process for all the other steps, and now when I launch the show, it's going to fade between those 4 steps rather than snapping. So that's a look at the shows function within the AirStream DMX Bridge app. It's a great way to be able to cycle through your different looks and create much more kind of customized step-based effects. If you want to check out the rest of my tutorial videos on the AirStream Bridge, click on the annotation on screen or the first link in the description down below. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching.